We're about a week into the Honkai Star Rail launch, and some of you guys have been asking me, hey Clake, what light cone should I be taking from the Battle Pass? And I just reached there myself, so we're going to go over each light cone, and we're going to decide which one we think could be an optimal choice for you and your account. So like I mentioned, the monthly and weekly resets have happened. Go into the exchange shop. You guys can buy some of those discounted tickets. I would recommend buying all 5 of each of them for the month. And then also weekly resets have happened in the game for you guys to grab some other goodies that are going to help you guys out tremendously. And I want to shout out again the Hoyo Lab website where you guys can do login rewards. Now that is something you guys may be forgetting to do. That is not in actual Honkai Star Rail. You have to go to the Hoyo Labs website and click that. There is some premium currency Stellar Jade in there for you guys to get your hands on. The Battle Pass has 2 different kinds. I'm sure you guys have seen it. You have a free-to-play side where you can get some tickets, some awesome currency, but if you do end up going with the Nameless Glory, which is going to be the paid version, and again, it's not absolutely needed, but that's where you're going to be able to get this light cone here when you get to level 30. And that's the only place you can get these light cones, from what I understand, is from the Battle Pass, so it's something we're going to have to acquire over time. But again, you're not missing out on too much. Is it worth the money? That's going to be up to you. That's something I don't ever like to touch on too much. For me, it was because it's a Battle Pass. I love getting Battle Pass supporting games that way, and it really isn't that expensive of an investment. But more so over this video is about the actual cards you can get and which one are valuable if you decided to get the Battle Pass. So we're going to go over each one, and I'm going to give you guys my rating. So the first one here is going to be Warmth, shortens the cold nights. It's going to be an abundance card. It says increases the wearer's max HP by 16%. A lot of our healers heal based off of their HP. You want them to survive. That's great. When using a basic attack or skill, restores all allies' HP by an amount equal to 2% of their respective max HP. So this card gives you more HP and actually adds a little bit of an extra heal when you're using your basic attack or your skill as a healer. I think this is a phenomenal card. I would say it's maybe top 3 or 4 choice here when it comes to the cards you can select from the Battle Pass. Next up, we have We Will Meet Again. It's going to be for the debuffing class Nihility. I hope I'm saying that right. It's going to allow you guys to, after the wearer uses a basic attack or skill, kind of like the other card, this time it deals additional damage equal to 48% of the wearer's attack to a random enemy that has been attacked. So this is just going to be damage on top of your debuffs and everything else you're applying with Nihility. Personally, I think this is an okay card. I don't think this is one anybody should choose right now. For sure with the units we have out there for you guys to be messing around with in this path. It's a good card for extra damage, but again, this is a choice you have to make. It's not something you can farm out easily. It's going to come on the Battle Passes, and this is just one that I'm going to put to the side. Don't worry to get too high. Next, we have This Is Me. It's going to be for the preservation or tank path that we have here in the game. It's going to be great for the Fire Trailblazer mode that you guys can unlock later in the story. So it says increases the wearer's defense by 16%, increases the damage of the wearer when they use their ultimate by 60% of the wearer's defense. So again, this is a defensive card that is going to allow you to do more damage when you stack the defense. Perfect for a tank. I think this is actually a really good card. Now, the problem I have with this card is a lot of you guys may not even be using a preservation unit, okay? The Trailblazer main character unit, when they are in their fire mode, very, very strong unit. That is the reason I would pick this card up. If your other light cones are covered, I would go with this for that unit specifically right now. But other than that, this is a card, again, it's not as low on the totem pole as We Will Meet Again, but it's not as high up, in my opinion, as Warmth, Shortens Cold Nights. Phenomenal card, but not one I would pick right off the gate. This one's going to be a little bit of a tough choice, and it's specifically because of the cards that you guys can get from Herta's shop from the Simulated Universe. We have Return to Darkness, phenomenal card. Increases the wearer's crit rate by 12%. After a crit hit, there's a 60% fixed chance to dispel a buff from the enemy. This effect can only trigger, one time per attack. So, not only does it give you a critical rate up, it's going to allow you to start removing and being a dispeller to the enemy, which will be very strong later in the game. However, again, as we've talked about in my past video, which you should check out with the OP free-to-play card that you can max out, I think if you're going to be going for a card to make your damage dealer from the hunt very strong, I would go with that card because you're going to be able to max it out much easier. This card's not bad, okay, for, later on because the D-Spell is insane. The other card just seems like a better pickup for me. So if you're really building your account up, you want to go right, I think you pick that card instead of this card currently in the way things are going. Next up, we have Nowhere to Run, going to be a destruction type. So as I've talked about in that past video about the Herta's Shop free-to-play options, we have Nowhere to Run and Return to Darkness here. In these options, we have 2 other great options for damage dealers in destruction and in the hunt in Herta's Shop. So again, if you have a main damage dealer that is destruction or the hunt, I would go with Herta's Shop option over these. They're very, 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 I can't say it enough, good light cones that you can max out from Farming Simulated Universe, and it's going to be better than these cards, because they're going to be able to be maxed out sooner. But looking at this one, increases the wearer's attack by 24%. Whenever the wearer defeats an enemy, they restore HP. So we have a little life steal on kill here, 12% of their attack. pretty good, right? So I have Clara, and Clara would love this card because she's getting hit a lot, she counters, she's getting her attack up, and then she's going to get some healing done to her because she's kind of like a pseudo tank and taunting and taking the hits. However, again, I think I would rather go, if I was building my Clara and I wanted her to be the best she could be, I would go with the Herder Shop option. As you guys can see here, that's the option that I would go with over Nowhere to Run, just specifically because I can level it up and max it out and get more stats. Moving on to today is another peaceful day. That's going to be for your AoE damage dealers out there. It reads, after entering battle, increases the wearer's damage based on their max energy. Damage increases by 0.20% per point of energy up to 160 energy. So this is just going to make you guys do more damage, more AoE damage, always great, but I think it is strong. It's just there are other options out there for your AoE path classes that are just as good, if not better, and compared to the other options you have here, the top tier options I've talked about in the Battle Pass, and I will talk about, this one just doesn't stack up to me as being one that you should choose. So today is another peaceful day, not a bad option, but not a top tier one either. And now comes the one I think everybody out there should be picking up, and that is Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds. Going to be a harmony, so like a buffer path card. And again, Ting Yun, SSS tier, one of the best characters in the game, 4-star. You want to get her. She's right here featured. If you don't know who she is, she's the Fox Lady. She's going to be right here, the Fox Buffer. It reads, at the start of the battle, whenever the wearer turn begins, one of the following effects applied randomly. So, for example, if you have this in Ting Yun and she uses her turn, she starts her turn, she's going to give one of these buffs to your teams. All allies increases their attack by 10%. Pretty good. All allies crit damage is increased by 12%. Pretty good. Or all allies' energy regeneration rate is increased by 6%, meaning their ultimate regeneration rate is increased by 6%. The applied effect cannot happen identical to the last effect applied, and will replace the previous effect. So essentially, every turn, you're going to be rotating through these effects when your Harmony unit takes their turn. And none of them are terrible options, okay? There are going to be some times when you're going to really need to look, and let's say you're trying to do a big blow-up turn, it's very important to do burst damage and get it done. You're going to hope for that crit damage, you're going to hope for that attack over the energy regeneration. But even if you get the energy regeneration, it is a very strong effect to have on your party. None of these are terrible. Honestly, some of these could be abilities your characters have as a buffer, and you would love it all the same. So overall, I think this card here is almost leaps and bounds better than most of the other cards you can get here. I think it goes Carve the Moon, and then I think the next one's Return to Darkness, personally. And then we go into Nowhere to Run, and then we go Warmth Shortens Cold Nights, and then I think these two right here are just kind of... Actually, I think This Is Me is better than We Will Meet Again, actually. So we'll put We Will Meet Again at the bottom, and then we'll have This Is Me right above that. But overall, guys, you guys are going to want a buffer on your team. Carve the Moon is going to be a great option for you guys to get your hands on. So that's my opinion on all the cards. I also want to leave you guys with a new code they have just released. It's nothing too major like the other ones. You don't get any Stellar Jade or anything like that, but freebies are freebies. Put that in. Guys, I am at Trailblaze level 38, hoping to get to 40, because at 40, that's when we can start farming relics that are 5-star, orange, legendary, whatever you want to call them, and that's when I'm going to show a video on that and show you guys what I'm going to be farming. Very excited to hit that point. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below which card you're going for. Subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.